and this is the Not Your Average Knitting Podcast, and we're back with another episode. I think it's episode 8? 9? Which episode is it?
8?
Oh, that's Mariah Carey.
Sweet.
Let's see. So we're back with another episode. We took a break for a while, but we're back, and this is our second episode in... When did we do the last episode? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay, so this is episode 9.
Yeah.
Podcast number 9. So, it's nice to see everyone, and I wanted to thank you all for watching our last podcast after such a long break, and we so appreciate all the lovely comments. We love reading them, and we love talking about all the nice things that everyone said, and we love sharing about what you're knitting, and it was just a really, really great response, I felt like.
Yeah.
Would you say? We were both a little concerned after a long period of time that maybe nobody would watch the video, which we were fine with, but it was so lovely. I think the last video has almost 1,300 views, which is really, really great, and almost 100 comments or something like that. So thank you so much, and we're really happy and excited to be back and to talk about all of our knitting fiber things. So, what do you want to start with?
Good question.
Like updates?
Sure.
Life updates?
Life
Do you want to
updates,
start
fine.
with life updates?
Yeah. So I don't really have a lot. We're like hanging out here for the summer, planning our wedding, and chilling with our dog, who seems to have finally found a spot to settle. Now that he's done his thieving, his stealing of things, and played a few rounds of chase with us.
We had to chase him around a little bit with he first took this skein of yarn and he went running around with that, and we had to bribe him with cheese and
a dentist stick.
A dentist stick.
He's obsessed with dentist sticks. If you want anything back from him, you just have to give him a dentist stick. So.
And then I went inside to get water to use the restroom, but I came out and he had this. So it's definitely a little bit of like giving attention. I'm sure he's not happy that we're not giving him attention right now, but maybe he'll come over.
Yeah.
You want to come here?
I think he likes his
I think it's hot today in Calgary. Would you say it's like 22 degrees?
Yeah, 24 maybe.
24.
Yeah.
The sun is really intense though, so I think it feels hotter than that when you're out in the sun. But we are under this lovely umbrella in front of Abby's place, and it's beautiful under here. Sorry, I cut you off mid updates. Do you have anything else?
Not that I can think of. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty boring of a person. So.
Well, you got assigned to a new school.
Yeah, I did.
And that's tentative right now, right? Because you're
I'm
still maybe
still
doing an interview
like,
or so.
Yeah, I'm still, I guess, but I'm pretty sure, and it's kind of exciting. Like I'll be, I think, teaching grade 4 again next year if everything goes according to plan, which sometimes it doesn't, but that's okay too. And we're wrapping the year up here. I think I have like 1 more week left of work, and then it's summertime. So
sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, my you probably know what my biggest update is.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Like the CPO. So.
No, it's fiber related.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm dumb.
No, it's okay. I'm totally putting her on the spot.
Yeah.
She was like, "You're pregnant."
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So no, I learned, if anybody has been following me on Instagram, then you would already know this, but I learned to spin on a wheel probably 4 or 5 days ago, and I got a wheel last Wednesday. Today is Saturday. Today's not Saturday. Today is Sunday, June 26th.
Sunday fun day.
And you'll probably see this in a couple days, depending on how quickly I edit everything. But yeah, I learned to spin and got a wheel, and I met this wonderful new friend of mine whose name is Jenny, and she actually occasionally works for Prairie Spirit Alpaca, which is a alpaca farm in Alberta. I think it might be near Fort McMurray. Possibly. Does that sound right or no?
I have no idea.
Okay.
To be honest.
Well, I think it's in northern Alberta-ish, and beautiful alpaca farm, and she sometimes works for them and sells their yarn. And I actually met her at I went to the Olds College Fiber Week or something like that. The Olds College does like a fiber week every single year. I think there's a pretty big program at Olds for fiber-related arts, like for spinning and weaving and classes and workshops. And it's also kind of a central area where a lot of farmers can come across from like Saskatchewan and BC and Alberta. There's quite a bit of farmers that have sheep and alpaca and llamas and things like that, and they can kind of all meet at Olds for this fiber week. So I went there, and the story is that I went to the fiber week, and I wanted to go because I wanted to get some alpaca yarn from Prairie Spirit Alpaca. I've never knit with 100% alpaca because I've been kind of scared of doing that, but I am. It sounds ridiculous. Be scared of like knitting with beautiful soft alpaca, but I guess I was scared about how it would come out. But Abby's knit with 100% alpaca, and I've read some things online, got some advice, and I think I'm going to jump in at first and just, you know, have fun with it. I have a plan, which I can talk about later. I did get yarn, which you can see, and I met Jenny, who works there, and she tells me she has a wheel for sale. And I'm like, well, you know, it just seemed kind of weird to buy a wheel when I haven't ever spun on a wheel. And I'm like, why would I do that? It didn't make sense to me. I kind of wanted to practice on a wheel, so it's difficult. How do you, you know, try a wheel out or practice on a wheel if you don't have a wheel? I don't necessarily have a lot of friends who spin. I have a few, actually, now that I've learned about spinning. Quite a few friends who spin. But Jenny says, oh, well, you should come to this little fiber group that we have on Wednesday for, it was in Capitol Hill, the northern part of, kind of northern-ish of Calgary, northish. And I went to this fiber group. She had her beautiful wheel. She basically taught me and helped me learn how to spin on it. I've spun on spindles, but I would say it feels quite different. Easier in some ways, and actually more technical in other ways, depending on the wheel and adjustments and different things like that. But I loved it. And I spun for 2 hours, the full 2 hours of the group. Instead of knitting, I spun. And I loved it, and I bought her wheel. I loved her. I obviously didn't buy her because she's not for sale. She's just my friend now, but I loved her. Really, I loved her a lot. And Jenny and I were actually talking about how there's kind of this thing that happens sometimes when you meet somebody where you meet them and it feels like within the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes of talking to them that you've like found something special. Like you've found someone who you know is going to be a good friend of yours. And that's kind of how I felt when I met Abby. We were at this knitting group and I met Abby and we started talking, and she says that she's a musician and she's a knitter and she went to Rice, and I was like, this is going to be like one of my best friends. Like I just knew that just from that first meeting. Sometimes you just feel that connection with people, and I kind of felt that with Jenny. And so it made the whole process even easier to buy her wheel from her because I liked her. And so I bought an Ashford traditional wheel. And I apologize for the knitters who watch our podcast if spinning stuff is kind of boring. I'll try not to make it boring. But this is going to be a bit about spinning. So I got the Ashford traditional wheel, which is a pretty standard wheel from Ashford. Not a lot of bells and whistles. Kind of pretty standard wheel. And been spinning on it for 5 days, obsessively, spinning quite a lot, and absolutely loving it. And not actually knitting as much because I've been spinning so much, but I am excited to knit with my spun yarn and to show that. And so I do have some spinning to show today. Some of my single plies I've spun up, and I even have a little sample of a 2-ply I did. And yeah, so for 5 days I've spun so much single plies of different kinds of wool. I've done a 2-ply yarn and all the aspects of finishing a 2-ply yarn. And I've also tried chain plying. Yeah, chain plying, where you basically, instead of using 2 plies and spin them on themselves, you basically spin a yarn on itself through a chain method. It's quite interesting, where you kind of like pull out like a loop. You tie a loop on the yarn and you pull the loop out and you pull the yarn through the loop, and you keep pulling yarns through loops, and it creates a chain, essentially. Quite interesting. It's a way that you can basically ply with a yarn, with one single yarn, if you don't have another yarn to ply. So yeah, that's my big life update, is I've been spinning a lot. Other than that, I did knit like crazy though before I started spinning. I was knitting on the sweater that you all saw last time called the Matoaka sweater, and I've made a lot of progress. I mean, I kind of got, I had a 5-day period there where I didn't work on it very much, but I was pretty much set to finish the sweater in like 4 weeks, which is really, really fast for me. And it is kind of bigger yarn for Lettlopi, but yeah, so that's my life updates. Let's see. Oh, why don't you tell them what you're wearing? I'm not wearing anything because it's too hot for me to wear something, but apparently not for Abby.
Well, yeah. So I made this, I finished this in between our last podcast. I'm pretty sure I was like knitting on it while we were podcasting.
Yeah, you were.
And so I finished it. It is the Summer Flirt Tee by Jill Karina Bow Designs. I think that's how you say her last name. And it is made, I got the yarn from a new yarn shop in Calgary, in Meadow. And it is, the yarn is Manos del Fino, and it's a 70% wool, 70% silk,
30%.
Or sorry, 70% wool, 30% silk. It's a single ply, and so it's really nice and cool for a very hot day. So, yeah, so I really like it.
You think that 70% wool and 30% silk is cool?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
I would not. I don't think that most people would say that. That's
it's also
cool.
like lacy, so it's like kind of loose. And...
Well, I know it's a light fingering. It has some silk in there, but I think silk can even be quite warm.
Excuse
depending
me.
on what it's
Oh my
paired
goodness. Sorry,
Maybe you should stand up and lean forward.
I have
so people can
allergies,
see,
so I
so
don't
people
have.
can see the lace.
I don't have COVID, but I've had it, but I don't have it. You know. There you go. That's the lace.
The lace is special.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I'm happy with it. I had made it, and then I started it done up to the yoke. I think I talked about this last time. I did all the lace up to the yoke, just using like one ball, and then started alternating it after. It created a stripy effect I didn't like, so then I ripped it back up to where I separated for sleeves and tried again without alternating it. And I liked that better, so that's what we stuck with. Yeah.
I think it's beautiful.
Thanks.
And you're the masterful. What would you call it? Masterful knitters of knitting. I can't even speak. Knitter of tees.
Yeah, I've made
knitter of
tees.
knitted tees.
I like knitted tees actually.
You knit a lot of knitted tees, and they look really good on you too.
And I keep like wanting to make more because I don't know. I just like wearing my knitwear all the time, and sometimes it's like too hot to wear a sweater, so then it's like, oh, well.
Well, it's also a cheaper way of making a garment that you can wear.
Yeah, because it's fingering weight most of the time, and you can get away with two balls or whatever, or 2 skeins, and and then I brought a couple other finished objects that I made in the last year that I really liked. That I was like, I'll show them off. So this is the Koru. It's by Johanna. And it is in Akara BFL Fingering 2-ply. I really, really like it.
It's kind of like a confetti. Oh, look, there's like a nice detail on the neck.
Yeah, it's got some lace on the neck, and I don't know, I really like it. I got it from a really beautiful shop based out of Vancouver Island. Christine is the owner, and the shop is called Woolen Waves, so I got the yarn from there. They have really, really nice yarns, and Christine is lovely. She's really smart with like things like color work, so if you're ever looking to pick a few different colors and you don't know what to pick, she can definitely help you out. So
the neck is really pretty.
Yeah,
I really like. It's interesting because I feel like I haven't seen a lot of sweaters. Oh, it's on the sleeve too.
Yeah.
Where there's like a little. I feel like lace is usually either overtaking, where it kind of like really is the feature thing, like on this where it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Or
my dog's doing.
Or there's like hardly any at all. But this I feel like is a really nice kind of added component where you might not notice it at first, and then you take a second look and you realize there's really nice detail there. And there's even some on the sleeve.
It's like a necklace.
And I bet this when put on, I bet this looks beautiful because it's stretched out over the arm. Wow, that's really nice.
Thanks. Yeah, I like it. I'm happy with it. And then the other one.
Cut it out.
He's just being the most distracting creature. He's like a teenager.
I think they like him though, so I think they want to see him.
It's okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
Ah.
Bailey.
Now he's trying to eat my yarn.
No thanks. Come up.
Come here.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
One of us needs to sneeze and then I'll come up. He's freaked out about sneezes, so every time I sneeze, I just expect like a dog to fly through the air.
Oh, he just like sneezes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, this is the it's the Jennifer Steingass, Alden by Jennifer Steingass. This is also in that 100% silk, the Tessa Tweed. And the reason I decided to show this one is just because it's summertime and silk is great for.
I don't know if it's kind of like it looks lighter on the camera, but it's actually like this really rich kind of what would you say turquoise? Yeah, darker, turquoise. Really dark blue with like some turquoise speckling throughout almost. Like it's really quite lovely, quite nice.
And it's quite a like I don't know what you call it. The yoke goes quite far before I separated for sleeves, so it's quite it's kind of a different fit than a lot of my other sweaters.
Yoke?
A long yoke, yeah.
Is it?
And it's like pretty like open neck, like it's not it's nice. I really like it.
Yeah, the Tessa Tweed is really nice. I don't know if you can see it, but the tweed, there's like little specks of turquoise tweed that kind of pop out there, which is really a nice quality. Jennifer Steingass. I mean, I think everybody loves. Oh, I want to show the sleeve.
Yoke. Yeah.
Look at that sleeve. The thing is, like, I really don't like it actually when pattern designers just put stuff on sleeves for like no reason. I don't think it actually looks good, but you can tell like it's intentional. You see how this pattern is slightly different than the yoke, just slightly different, and it's really nice. I think it adds like a really nice touch. Yeah. Oh, and there's like a little bit of what kind of cuff is that?
It's like I can't even. I think it's just knit, and it's like a rolled. Or
yeah, because I was gonna say there's no ribbing.
I think I did what's that finishing technique?
But there's ribbing on the bottom, just not on the sleeves.
What's the one that Stephen West always uses? It's like a finishing
tubular bind off?
Tubular bind off or something
crochet?
or something. It wasn't crochet. Tubular maybe. And then the other one I wanted to show. It is kind of pilly. Like it's gonna take me a while to get all the pills because it's really freaking soft. But this is my alpaca, like 100%. Most of the yarn is, let's do this side because it's less pilly.
Okay. Wait, no, it's the other side that's less pilly.
You know what? They're both pilly. It's fine.
It's okay.
Anyway.
Look at that.
I have to like depill it, but like it's really beautiful. It's 100% alpaca. At least the white is. The brown has some bamboo. And that is Country Gables Limited. They're out of High River. And I bought that at the Calgary Fiber Shindig in the last fall, and I really, really like it. It's
I kind of want to show this just because I think it looks kind of cool.
It looks cool.
The inside.
And I was like halfway knitting it, and then I realized that like I was making a sweater that matched my dog, which is hilarious. And I'm kind of obsessed with that now because I am obsessed with my dog, even though he's a little bit of a monkey.
This is nice. Is this called corrugated ribbing? Corrugated ribbing when you have color as a knit and then Oh, I guess it's not ribbing because they're all knits, but somehow it looks kind of like almost like ribbing because of the contrast.
So I really like it. It's the Meadow Moon by Jennifer Steingass. Again, she has such nice yokes. So
those are your FOs.
Yeah, and then this.
And then that.
But
okay, so I guess I'll do FOs then. I don't really have any FOs because I've been kind of working on the sweater, but I have one FO, and it's my first 2-ply yarn.
Yay!
It's so cute and small and thick and thin, and that's okay. But so this is a mixture of merino and blue-faced luster. I don't know if it's focused on there or not. I can't like tell. Is that better? Maybe it is better. I think it is better when I do that. BFL and merino. And the merino is the yellow and the BFL is the gray. And so it's really, this is actually made from the first yarns I ever spun on the wheel. So it was in that first 2 hours in that meeting I spun these yarns. And then I kind of progressed along a journey to spinning others. And so that'll be my one FO will be this little skein. I'm so proud of it. I know you can tell I'm really proud of it because I keep showing it. But I made that. I think that's pretty cool. And I think I may knit it up into a swatch and stick it up on my wall, or I may just leave it like this. But yeah, I thought it was kind of fun, and I wanted to try plying before I plied yarns that were better quality, like better consistency. So it was good. It was good to practice on that. But I did ply with a shoebox, which I would not recommend. Just get a Lazy Kate. Lazy Kate is the thing that like holds the bobbins. So when you're pulling the yarn off, it like holds it pretty steady. The shoebox is like flying around and like so stressful. Don't DIY that. Just get the Lazy Kate.
I wonder why they call it Lazy Kate. Is it like named after a person? Like
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It doesn't sound good. Like it sounds like you're saying bad things about Kate.
I know. Poor Kate, man.
Give me a little skein.
It's like the old school version of Karen, I guess.
Oh, baby skein. I love a baby skein. I feel like we don't see baby skeins a lot, so it's fun. And it's fun to ply, and like I really enjoy the spinning process of that. So I don't think I have any other FOs. Yeah. Okay. Let's do whips now.
Sure. Yeah.
So maybe I'll start. So
yeah.
I guess I'll start with spinning since I'm there, and then I'll go to my sweater, which I'm sure you all will love to see. So I am knitting I'm spinning all different kinds of wool, but I spun about the day or two after I started spinning. I spun some Corridale, which is this kind of like brown, really nice dark rich brown color. And the Corridale, I think I got this from Stash actually in Inglewood yarn store. So that was going well. It's like not amazing, but it's good I think for like second or third day of spinning. And then I yesterday spent the whole day spinning up this Shetland, which I think it looks really nice. I'm proud of this. Proud of this for sure. It's really nice, like soft, halo-y kind of texture. I wish you could touch it. But that's Shetland. It's a lot of Shetland. I have a ton left actually still. So that's my Shetland. Those are my single plies that I spun. And then my plan was originally to take these two and ply them together. I thought they would be nice. But I think that once I've talked to a couple spinners, I think because they're spun quite differently in different ways, that I might just put this onto a nitty knotty and then take it and then kind of measure how much relatively I have, and then put half of it onto another bobbin and then ply the yarn against itself. So like half of this will be plied against the other half.
Yeah.
I think that'll make a really, really nice, beautiful white 2-ply yarn. Yeah. And I mean, just feel that.
Oh. Well, and you could easily make a hat with these two. Do you know what I mean? Like once you're done applying it, like, because those two colors look nice together.
But I'm not gonna apply this with this.
No, I know. But
well, the thing is that this, I could just. The thing is, you don't have to apply to knit with yarn. Like this is a single ply, and there's enough twist in here that if I put it on a nitty knotty, which is like if you're not a spinner, a nitty knotty is like a thing that you use to make a hank without getting the yarn all twisted, because I'm sure we've all been there where like when you take a skein apart into a hank and you don't keep it in a nice circle, it will start twisting on itself and then it'll get tangled. So in order to make a really nice hank, use a nitty knotty. And I could just put this on a nitty knotty, and then there's a lot of yardage in here. I'm sure I could knit a hat with this or something, but yeah. I think for the purposes of experimentation and having fun, I think I'm going to apply it against itself. And we'll see relatively how many yards I have, and we'll see what I can do with it. Maybe I could make like little hand warmers or something like that, like to rub just around my hands. But yeah, this Shetland is gorgeous and beautiful. Whips. Okay. I have my sweater, my Matoaka sweater that I've been knitting. So this is a Norwegian sweater that I've been knitting out of a book. I'll write down what the book is and where the sweater comes from in the notes. But it's called the Matoaka sweater, Matoaka. It's a Norwegian pattern, but it's knit in Icelandic yarn. And funny enough, the sweater actually, I think part of the sweater is not even on anything. You see, I didn't put anything on there. It's just, I just pulled the needle out, and it's staying exactly where it's supposed to, because it's Icelandic Lettlopi, and I think like a worsted weight. It's kind of a heavy worsted, I would say, but in a worsted weight yarn. And maybe I'll show the yoke up close. So loving it. Loving it. It's a beautiful sweater. I'm really, really excited for it. But the only thing is that I don't think I talked about this last time, but I knit the body up until this point here, the color work, and then I thought to myself, okay, now I'm gonna knit the sleeves, and then we're gonna attach it all together and knit up to the top. No. So I was confused because the pattern said to keep going and start the chart, and I thought, well, if I start the chart, then there's gonna be no holes for the arms. And so I realized that I didn't know this when I started the pattern, but they're actually, I have to steek. I'm gonna have to, I have markers here to show me where like the halfway point is, I guess, in the round, and I'm gonna steek holes on either side of this. So this is pretty much done right here, like the body is done. This is all the way up to the neck, what I did. And then I'm gonna steek holes on either side, like basically cut a hole on either side. I may reinforce, do a little reinforcement around wherever I cut. And the way I'm gonna know how to steek it is by measuring the sleeve. So this is the sleeve, my first sleeve, which came out really nice. And I can even try it on because it's on my magic loop, which I've been doing a lot more magic loop in recent years. But I can even try it on. You can see kind of where it lies. So it sits here, and it looks like, oh, well, the sleeve is short, like it doesn't go up to here. But it's the way it's a kind of a set in sleeve. Like this part is so wide that it actually will fall down the shoulder, and then I'll attach this here. And so yeah, and it's really come out quite nice. And here, I'll show this up close. It's nice, really nice details. I really love the colors. These are actually the original colors in the pattern. The Matoaka sweater, and there's a nice little detail on the sleeve, which I like. And then this little pearl part is going to go on the inside for the seam. But needless to say, there weren't a lot of directions in the pattern, which is a little stressful, but I looked up a video on YouTube of how to do Norwegian knitting, and there was a woman who explained how to do it, and it's pretty simple. Like, you basically, like, I'm going to measure the width of this sleeve against the sweater like this, and then I'm gonna kind of like put markers so I know how wide to cut the steek. And then I'll sew the sleeve in, and then once I sew the sleeve in, I'm going to do a 3-needle bind off. I'm going to go from this point to basically like almost to basically one side of the neck. I'll do a 3-needle bind off. I'll slip the stitches across the front. I'll do another 3-needle bind off here for the other shoulder, and then I will cut the steek here and sew the other sleeve in, and then pick up for the neckband and bind off, and then it's over. And it will be beautiful. And actually, I blocked this up to like maybe at this point, just to see, and it's amazing how, like, feel this relative to this. So this is unblocked, and that's blocked.
Is so nice,
right?
though.
Isn't it pretty? It's a pretty significant thing because the Lettlopi is quite like pokey because of all the guard hairs that Icelandic sheep have. So like I don't mind it even when it's not blocked, but it's amazing how soft it got from blocking. Like, it really helps the fibers relax and everything. So I'm excited for that. And I do actually have the other sleeve. It's like up to the cuff here, but I won't show it just because it's not that interesting. But yeah, so hopefully I find some time away from my spinning to actually finish that, because but that will be a great sweater for winter. I'm like really excited, and it's almost like it's a slightly oversized sweater. It's meant to go over a lot of layers. It's meant to be kind of like warm when you're like going for walks, or maybe you're cross country skiing, or you're chopping wood, or whatever you're doing outside. And it kind of almost acts as a coat. So that's lovely. Whip. What else? Is there anything else? I don't think so. Do you want to do the giveaway now? Or do you want to do acquisitions
well,
first?
I gotta do whips too, eh?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You go for it. We go for whips.
Yeah? Okay. So this one has a little bit of a story. I was knitting the Clementine sweater, and I got past the splitting for sleeves, and I thought, okay, it looks okay, but I'm gonna try it on. And when I tried it on, I did not like where the pearl bumps landed. Like, they kind of landed like mid-bust.
Oh.
When you switch from purling back to knitting.
Which
And
is not so flattering.
Yeah, I didn't love it. So I thought, you know what, screw it. I'm going to, like, just rip it out and start over, because that's the beauty of knitting. So I ripped out probably a skein and a half of yarn.
Can we show this?
Yeah, and this is the Georgian Fingering by Johanna Yarns. It's 70% wool, merino, and 70% silk, or 30% silk. Why can't I get my ratios today?
Yeah, you say 70 and
I'm
70
like
a
such
lot.
a space cadet.
140%.
70%.
That's a lot of
70%
fiber.
merino and 30% silk.
It's a nice little lace.
And I found out the color, because I know I said last time my dog ate the label, but when I looked back and through my emails, I saw the receipt. So it is Georgian Fingering, and it's in Green Eyed Envy. And so now, instead of doing the Clementine sweater, I'm doing the Salty Air Tea by Samantha Garn. And I'm really liking it so far. I think it'll be a nice kind of, I guess, addition to my wardrobe. And yeah, so, and then the other whip I have, I kind of got through the color work, and then I like stopped because it fits just perfect. It's Brooklyn Tweed. It fits just perfect. But then it was going to ask me to do more short rows, and so I was like debating whether I do that or not, because it already fits perfect, so I don't want to like make it any bigger necessarily, or not make it that much bigger. This is the, so anyway, I'm still having meetings with myself about it. I'll get back to you. But this is the Grettir by Jared Flood. I didn't do, the only alteration I did is I wanted to do twisted rib instead of regular rib on the cuffs and the bottom.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, and I really like the colors.
It's so good.
I'm
It's
so
so
happy
good.
with it. So I should just hurry up and finish it so that I can show it off, even though it's a 1,000
It's
degrees
gonna
up.
box so nicely.
I know, and
Oh my
I'm
god,
like,
and the brown. Oh, it's a chocolate. It's like a
yeah,
dark chocolate.
it's like a
brown.
dark chocolate
I thought it
brown.
was black. but
It's actually
not.
one of their discontinued colors, unfortunately, and I'm so sad they're discontinuing it because it's so.
It's kind of Halloween, like fall-esque. I kind of love it.
It's fall. I love
love it.
I
I love
love fall colors, and anyway, so I was like,
Well,
yes.
if you in your sweaters, do you typically like it when the neck sits high, a little bit higher on the back of your neck, or you don't care?
I just think it'll make it like kind of like Hunchback of Notre Dame, like kind of like lumpy, because I don't need that extra fabric there. Do you know what I mean? Because I've already done short rows. Like this has 2 rounds of short rows, one before you start the yoke, and then one after you're done the yoke. And I think maybe that's because it was initially designed for a man. And
Yeah.
you do have, like, men typically have like broader shoulders, so they might require more short rows. I don't know.
Well, it won't, I don't think it will make it bigger. I think it will make it longer in the back, which means there'll be more fabric going up the neck. But I don't think it's necessarily going to it's not going to be wider. So I wouldn't worry about lumpiness. I'd worry more about fit. Like if you like if you like this, how it sits kind of lower on your back,
Yeah.
it will come up slightly higher, which sometimes is nice for yoke sweaters because then the front actually lays down like
Flatter.
slightly late. So if you don't put short rows, it may sit all at the same level all the way around. But if you put short rows, the front of the fabric might actually lay slightly lower, which means like it can sometimes be more flattering because instead of it being higher, it will actually be slightly lower.
Yeah, so I'll keep you posted on what I decide. I might show Max after we podcast what it looks like, because I have what do they call it? They're like little tubes that you put on your needles so that you don't have to like.
Oh, I need to get some of those.
Yeah, they're awesome, and I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, I have those, so I can just put it on those and try it on, and anyway, then I'll make a choice. So.
Is that all you're knitting?
Yeah, I have some other stuff that's like, I have a lot of stuff that's like just languishing
there was
forever.
a shawl, right?
but I really haven't done much on it. I have.
Sorry, I don't mean to call you out. I just think it's preposterous
No,
that you only are knitting 2 things.
Oh well, but I have like so many other languishing things, and I'd started my Feel the Burn crop, but then I like wasn't quite happy with my color choices, so we went to the Loop and I got like a different color, and I'm gonna anyway. It's a whole thing, like it's a whole vibe. I'm just like I think this is like the month of indecision for me, so hopefully July I'll be, I don't know.
Oh, who cares?
You know, or not really. Let's be honest, probably not.
It's fine, and honestly, it's nice to have a couple projects to work on because this happens to me, where I think Abby maybe remembers this, but like I'm a kind of knitter. Like I usually stick with one thing, and I knit a lot on the one thing, and then I get to a point where I really don't want to knit on it anymore because I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
And I'll put it away. Sometimes it will go away for a long time, which maybe it wouldn't happen if I had more than one thing because I could kind of like cycle through things, and maybe my interest for something wouldn't die as quickly because I would be knitting only a little, kind of I'd be knitting it with other things.
I mean that's kind of how I am, and I also just like, yeah, it just depends on like the day, and I don't know, like I don't necessarily feel like knitting something like the Grettir today because it's really hot outside, and you don't really want a worsted weight project. Just like,
but merino is so cool though.
I thought it was targy, isn't it? Targy.
Yeah, it is
shelter.
targy. But I think targy might be a hybrid breed of merino. Like it might be a kind of merino sheep that lives in. Because there's like Spanish merino. There's all different. There's French merino. There's a lot of different kinds. But you're right. I think it might be targy. Yeah, I don't mean to. I mean, I do mean to give you a hard time. I was gonna say I don't mean to.
Oh no, you can't.
But I literally do mean to.
I'm easy to
pick on.
Yeah. But in a funny way.
You're not easily affected by it, though. That's why it's fun.
I don't really. I'm like the quintessential middle child. I'm chill. I'm kind of weird. I do my own thing. It's all good,
Okay, could you move slightly farther down the couch? Because I'm getting sunburned on the couch. I'm just gonna move the camera a little bit, like that. Okay.
Got leg sweat.
Leg sweat?
Yeah.
TMI. Okay. So we finished whips. And then, yeah, it is hot. I don't know. The umbrella is nice, but sometimes when I'm under an umbrella, I feel like it kind of almost encapsulates the heat. Like there's no air.
I mean...
Because, heat rises, right?
Yeah.
So heat rises and it gets stuck under the umbrella, then it kind of comes back down.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do giveaway or do you want to do acquisitions?
Let's do giveaway and then acquisitions.
Okay. So this yarn...
Oh my gosh.
...was sent to us probably a year and a half ago. And I apologize to the people, the gentlemen or the people who sent the yarn to us. But it was sent to us because they loved our podcast and they wanted us to give some yarn away. And it says, "Hi Max and Abby, just a couple words to wish you both well and hope you'll enjoy the little extra minis. Keep up the good work." So someone, and this is hugs from Italy. It says, Francisco?
Yeah.
Francisco, maybe? I'll find out. But thank you very much, and this is so sweet. And so this is a male hand dyer from Italy who sent us yarn, which is so cool. And we're so happy to have been sent this yarn. And I think it was maybe sent to us right around the time when we stopped, which is why it wasn't. We didn't show it, or it wasn't given away.
Mm-hmm.
But it's called Dark Omen yarn. And I will, of course, link it. And it's, oh my god. So we are ascribed yarn snobs. The two of us. Like, we are very picky when it comes to yarn we like and why we like it. And this yarn is gorgeous.
It's all the things that I like about fingering yarn. I really like single ply, and it's single ply. It's really soft.
So he gifted us 2 gorgeous skeins of this single ply fingering. It's called Merino Singles, 100 grams, 366 meters. And the purple and pink is called Arcane Shift. And the green is called Fell Weave. Oh my gosh, they are so gorgeous together. They really are. So between the two of them, you have 720 meters. And we're going to give away these 2 skeins to a lucky viewer, plus these 2 minis. And the minis, I think we think will go like so beautifully with the skeins for a shawl, beautiful shawl, or whatever you like to make. I mean, Abby was able to make that with two skeins of fingering. So if you happen to have like you want to do a striped top or whatever you want to make, shawl, scarf, garment, I think this will be beautiful. And so thank you so much to Dark Omen Yarn, handmade in Italy. Gorgeous.
So pretty.
Gorgeous. And I feel like you don't see a lot of like hand-dyed yarn from Italy. And the single ply merino is so luscious. That's actually what Abby is wearing, is also single ply merino. Is it merino?
Yeah.
Yeah, single ply merino.
Yeah.
So we'll be giving those away. For now, we're going to keep the giveaway within Canada. I apologize to our American friends and also people who watch from outside of Canada. All people outside of Canada. But just for now, we're going to keep the giveaway within Canada. So if you live in Canada and you would like to be entered into the giveaway, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel, make sure you're subscribed, give us a like. Everyone should give us a like just because we're likable. And you should also hit the notification button. There's like a little bell you can hit, and that will tell you when our episodes are uploaded. You can hit that, but that's not required for the giveaway. Giveaway subscription to our channel, like, and then give us a comment of where you are in Canada, relatively general location, and what would be something that we should ask them?
Oh.
What are you curious about?
I guess didn't really think that.
Could be vibe related, could be music related. Oh, I have a good idea.
Yeah.
What if we say, ask us a question, something that they're a question
Curious
about us. Yeah, curious. Either about us, or about the channel, or about what we knit, or about us individually.
Or
Maybe
a
leave us,
dog.
or about a dog. Like, leave us a question. Because I think that we have talked about ourselves, but I'm sure maybe people are interested in, like, how we learned to knit, or what was the first thing we knit, or how do we knit, technically, or I'm sure there could be a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And we never done sort of like a question thing. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave us a comment with your location within Canada so we know that you're within Canada. And then, or if you're not within Canada but you have a place in Canada that the yarn could be shipped, or maybe family member that you visit or something like that, I think that works too. So as long as we can ship the yarn to somewhere in Canada.
Yeah.
And then we'll get that out to you. And we'll announce the winner next time.
Yes.
Okay. Acquisitions. Do you want to do yours first?
Sure. So I don't have a ton because I've been like kind of breaking the bank.
That's
here
good. You should be proud of yourself.
lately. I did, however, so I started the Feel the Burn crop. I wasn't happy with one of the colors in it because I felt like I had too many of like the medium colors and I didn't have enough light colors. And so I really felt like, okay, I need like a cream to like round this thing out better. So I already had these 3 plus like one more of this color and one more of this color, and so I thought, okay,
this is in Haynes Creek, right?
Yeah, Haynes Creek.
In the worst. Oh, Aaron, sorry.
And I had, and then I had like the bright turquoise blue, which I wasn't as happy with. So then I just ended up going with this cream to like.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not a profanity-free podcast. Just,
I feel like we're pretty good about it. I think we both. I think I curse more than Abby, but I've never cursed. I think on that podcast.
I can be like a.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I curse. I apologize to anyone who.
It's fine. It's just like.
It's okay. Well, this is this is an informal podcast, and you all are like our friends. So if you are our friends, you'd be hearing that. These will be really nice together.
Yeah. So I think that'll be better. More kind of what I was like looking for, and that's some of the time with color work, you kind of just have to like try it. Mm-hmm. And if you're not happy with something, like be open to ripping it back and like doing something else or trying something else. So. I don't know, as like more experienced knitter now, I feel like I'm like so okay with just being like, okay, yeah, not working, let's rip it back, and I'm
Well,
not.
it's good to know yourself, because I think that
Yeah.
sometimes when something's not working, I don't rip it back. I'm kind of like the knitter that, like, even if I don't like it, sometimes I'm like, let's push ahead and see if it gets better. And oftentimes it doesn't. There are a couple times in which, like, things that I didn't think were working out do end up working out in the end for whatever reason. But I do think that I get stuck in a position a lot where I've knit a ton and I have to rip out a lot more than I would.
That you would have had to.
Yeah, like I've done things before where I've like started doing work and I didn't like the colors at first, but I thought, oh, I'll like it, and I knit like a ton more, and then I still had to rip it out. So instead of being able to just rip out a few rows, I had to rip it out. But you know, we're all different and we all have to try different things, and I commend you for knowing what you like and don't like and acting on it, because I'm a little less decisive sometimes.
Well, but I've done that too, where I've been indecisive, and then you're more frustrated when you rip it out. So
I think you and I have learned that, like, if you don't like something, if the initial feeling is like I don't like it, that feeling usually won't go away. If you're kind of in the middle, you might end up liking it. But I think if you're really like at the front, like, this is not going to work, I don't think it's going to change. Like, I think it's not going to work. And so I think that when I've said something before where I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about this, Abby will say, well, how do you feel about it? Like, what's your initial feeling? And if my feeling is I'm not going to like it, then she'll tell me, then don't do it. And I told her the same thing. Like, it has to be something that is like grabbing you right from the beginning. And if it's not, then it's probably not a good
fit
decision.
Yeah. So, and then I just got, so the loop in Kensington sadly is closing because they want to make us sad. No, that's not true.
No, that's because Annie is retiring and is moving on to her new life. I think she's moving to PEI, to the island, so that should be lovely for her. And yeah, we're really I'm gonna miss her a lot, and Marilyn and
just that community.
Karina and the other people who run and own the loop are wonderful. But I think this store's been around, how many years was it?
A lot.
I think Andy said like maybe 15 years, maybe it could be more than that, but it's been around for quite a while, and I think there's a big community of people, and you know, we're lucky to have a lot of beautiful knitting stores in Calgary, and we do have other ones as well, but they're all very different, you know, and there's fiber people are all very different and unique and into different things, and I think Annie's shop kind of like represented a certain kind of like wool and knitting that like we don't see as prominently in other parts. Like, we can access it, but there's different communities of people that we all enjoy having, and so we're losing one, but hopefully, you know, we can keep those people as like friends and fiber peers. Maybe we can like start knitting groups or whatever. I do think that that's something that Calgary lacks, is like a consistent fiber group or groups.
Yeah,
I feel like they're not easy to find.
Yeah,
which is why we met at like a pop-up knitting night at Stash. Because there was no groups to go to, so that's where we met. And I think we were like one of 3 people, or the 2 of us. It was like 2 out of 3 was us. There was 3 people there. And
I mean, but we're the party, so it's fine. No, and so I just hope that someone can pick up the slack and carry my Jameson and Smith, because
I know we're a little sad because there's certain yarns that she has that other stores don't have, and one of them is Jameson and Smith in a 2-ply, and it's
in the jumper weight. It's so perfect for color work, because you can just grab like so many different colors, and you're not breaking the bank because it's only 50 grams in the skein or in the
But you have to buy like 20 of them.
But it's okay, because it's still like my Marie Wallen sweater was only like $200.
It's still very reasonable for
the
how
fact
good
that it's
it
like
is.
12 colors, like that's a lot of freaking yarn.
Well, it's very high quality yarn too for the price.
So anyway, this is just like throwing that out there to the world and the universe in Calgary.
Hey Stash, or little bow fiber company that just opened up in Marda Loop. Little bow fiber company.
Someone needs to carry Jameson.
Yeah, someone please carry Jameson and Smith.
Because you can't pick those colors. You can't pick like a 12 colorwork sweater online. You just can't do it. So anyway, whatever. It's a sad thing, but we're happy for them.
We're gonna have to stock up on some Jameson Smith colors.
So just for that rant, I did. Every time I go in there, something just falls into my lap, and I just have to buy it. So today's was this loop. They have a house yarn, and so this is their 70% merino, 30% silk, because I am a sucker for that. That blend is like,
if there's a trend.
Yeah, it's just so nice. And so I thought this will be perfect for like a nice light summer tea.
It's a nice kind of like
pink, rose pink kind of color.
Yeah.
A little bit of purple, but mainly kind of like a lighter pink. It's nice. It's almost like pink peony, kind of like very nice.
So I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but
And it's probably dyed either by Annie or by Hunter.
Yeah.
I think they had dye by Annie. This is Annie's yarn, which she has a lot of beautiful stuff. But also, just so you all know, Annie does ship yarn, and you're saving a lot of money by buying the yarn at a discount. So I imagine it's worth it to pay shipping, even if you live across Canada. Like I would honestly give a call, ask for certain things. Don't take the Jameson and Smith because I need to get more of that. But if you're interested, give her a call. They're very friendly. They might, if you want to look at some of her hand dyed, she might take pictures for you, and it's worth the cost of shipping if you get a massive discount on a large quantity of yarn.
Yeah.
People will go in there. Whenever we go in there, there's always someone with a bag that's like this big, and they're just like, this is like 100 skeins of like this and that, and no one knows what they're making. They're just getting like
we're just
random
buying
stuff.
it. But I'm like not that as a person. Like typically, I have a very clear idea of what I'm making when I go in and get something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's me. I think that's it. Yeah.
For your acquisition.
Yeah.
Do you have that dress that you bought today?
Is it there or is that yours?
I think that might be mine. Maybe that's yours.
Is this it? Yeah, it is. I bought a dress today, just randomly by Sidewalk Citizen Bakery.
Yeah, we like. So I know that this might totally surprise all of you, but we're actually friends in real life, and we went to the Crossroads Market in close to Inglewood, so I can get some things for spinning, and then we went and got kind of like a breakfast brunch thing at Sidewalk Citizen, right on the river there at East Village.
Yeah.
And she saw this beautiful dress and got it.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, it says Promessa is the brand. I don't know. It's a really nice material. I think it's like maybe like linen or something. And it just is like, again, really nice for summer. So it's got a tie in the back, and then it's like, and it's got pockets, which I love having pockets on everything. My wedding dress has a pocket, has pockets. I just think why do women get the short end of the stick there with like no pockets on our things? Like, pockets are so handy.
They are.
Yeah.
You know what? If women can't have pockets, then men should be able to have pockets.
Yeah, we all deserve pockets. Just saying.
I feel like my sister, my younger sister, was wearing a pair of pants one time and it didn't have any pockets.
Yeah.
And they're pants. And I was like, how
It's
can
the
pants
worst.
not have pockets? And
Yeah.
actually, they looked like pockets, but they were fake. Have you ever seen those where they're sewn shut? I was
yeah.
like, what the heck is going on?
That's just rude. Seriously.
It's like offensive.
So anyway, pockets. That's. I mean, I don't know. I'm just really silly today. Sorry.
You should knit pockets on your stuff. Like just add a pocket randomly right there.
Yeah, I should.
Actually, just put one right on top of the lace.
Or just like wear a sign with everything that I have that has pockets. It has like big in caps lock letters. It has pockets. Just in case anyone's wondering, because I know we'll get there in the conversation. So,
You love your pockets.
I love my pockets, man. Anyway, so I bought that. It's really cute. The lady at the little market area was really sweet. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to try to blow through these so I don't bore anybody too much. So I got a lot of fiber for spinning from my friend Maryland. Maryland? No. Maryland. Maryland is a state. I'm sure there's people who are named Maryland, but this friend of mine is not Maryland. So this is some wool I got from Maryland. It's
Whoa,
it's like
nice.
it's a nice kind of like blue, rich blue colors. I think it's all. Let's see what it says. It's by Windwolls, Road, Taronga, New Zealand. Oh, fine fiber supplied by Windwolls. Pacific palette, hand dyed in New Zealand by Elspeth Wilkinson. Wow, I butchered that. It's 32 micron, Romney, double gild, and the color is called Peacock, and the weight is 300 grams. I think Bailey is trying to destroy. Is that a rose bush? Oh my god, he's trying to eat a rose bush with the thorns.
Why do you do that?
Bailey, eat this. Get that. So this is some wool that I'm gonna spin up into. It's 500 grams, so we'll see. It's gonna turn into a lot of. That's like really pretty blue colors. I couldn't resist. I mean, I love blue, obviously. So that's that wool. And I got some more wool for spinning. This is also from Maryland. Oh, that's kind of cool. Kind of like browns and golds, and it's probably going to come out variegated, which I think will be fun to spin. I thought might be.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot.
I thought it might be fun to spin. Some fiber I'm getting not because I necessarily think that I would like the yarn that it makes, but more so just like the process of spinning it. I got this, which I think you like.
Ooh, yeah, I love those colors.
So this probably could be stripy. This is Aurelia Woolen Weaving from Victoria, BC, Canada. New Zealand, Corradale. 29 microns, 250 grams, combed. And it's this beautiful kind of like, maybe we should open this so people can see the wool. Oh yeah. Look how pretty that is.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, it's purples and blues and greens and like nice colors. That'd be fun. I probably could stripe with that because I can separate the different strands or put them together. That'd be fun to spin with. And then today I got a Nitty Naughty for making Hanks. Nitty Naughty. I got some spinning oil for the wheel. Spinning wheel oil for my Ashford wheel. And then I also got a Lazy Kate. Why do you gotta be lazy, Kate?
Yeah.
So it holds 3 bobbins, which is great for making 3-ply yarn. And yeah, I don't have to use a shoebox anymore, so
Yay.
it's nice. What else? Okay, when I went to, oh, my skein's coming undone. Oh my god, what is that? Is that oil? I think the spinning oil might be getting out of the thing. Okay.
Oh no.
So when I went to
Bailey.
Bailey's trying to take one of my skeins.
He's a little bit of he is so sweet, but he is a little bit of thief. Okay.
So when I went to here, I'm gonna give you some attention so you don't try to eat my yarn. Come on.
Bailey, come up.
Come on. Okay. So when I went to the show at Olds College, I got some alpaca from Prairie Spirit
Alpaca.
Spirit alpaca.
Yeah.
And I got this gorgeous kind of like chocolatey brown color, and this yarn is a sport weight, and it comes from one alpaca, and her name is Ruby. This beautiful kind of like chocolatey brown, dark brown. There's some Shetland merino, some Shetland wool on there. Chocolatey brown. Look at that. And it's so soft and luscious. So I'm gonna make a sweater out of that, and I'm probably gonna pair it with this, which is some kind of like more coffee. I think that'll be really nice. And it's like really beautiful, soft yarn. And that. And then I got a sweater quantity of yarn to make a Brooklyn tweed sweater. And the yarn I bought is a sport weight yarn also. This is a sport apparently. And it is in their it's very like limited. It's a limited yarn, and it's called Ranch 03. And yeah, I saw this yarn, and I haven't knit with Brooklyn Tweed actually in a while, even though I really love Brooklyn Tweed. I have my first 3 sweaters I think I made were in Brooklyn Tweed. I loved it that much. So I wanted to make a sweater with their yarn, and this yarn was also like 25% off, and it's pretty pricey yarn, so it kind of felt like it was calling my name.
So the yarn is Ranch 03 Campbell Hansmeyer Hamschmier from Eagle County, Colorado. This is the dark blue. It's a very, very rich blue. And the colorway is called Fathom. And I looked up some information about it. So these ranch yarns are like ranch specific, meaning that they come from like one place. The wool all comes from one farm and one shepherd's or shepherdess's sheep. And it says, merino with a capital M, round and smooth, this yarn rebounds against your hand with a satisfying spring. Enjoy the modern palette of vibrant colorways showcasing the glowing hues that only merino can provide. It says it's a sport weight 5 ply, which is a lot of plies for a small yarn. I think that's why the yarn is so bouncy, and that's why also I think Brooklyn Tweed, in their smaller yarns, they get such good definition, because it's very tightly worsted spun yarn with lots of plies. Worsted spun in Maine, 20.7 micron pure merino, and then there's 10 colors, and it's dyed in North Carolina. So the sweater I'm going to make is called the Spero, S-P-E-R-O, and it's a customized colorwork pullover by Jared Flood, which I think is pretty interesting because it's knit seamlessly from the top, and they give you all these different motifs, and you can pick them all. And they even give you like little papers or little charts to be able to like put the charts together and like see what they'll kind of knit up with, and you can even color it and whatever. And I thought that would be really fun to do. So I got this is going to be the sweater color is the blue, and this is actually I think the original color that's in the sweater. And then I'm going to pair it in the yoke with these three. Oh, sorry. So you kind of have this like really, really, really bright yellow, and then this really coral blue, beautiful blue color, and then this bright orange. Do you like those?
Yes, I do.
I think the colors work really, really well together, and they're quite vibrant. I think it's going to knit a beautiful sweater, and the sport weight I think will make something that's very, very wearable for the summer, and I'm so excited about that. Oh, other than that, we purchased, we made, the two of us kind of like combined and went to order a yarn from the Woolly Thistle it's in New Hampshire, and it's if you don't know the Woolly Thistle, you need to look them up because they're amazing, and they specialize in woolly yarns that come from overseas. Come here. Up, 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 up.
Good dog.
Good boy. It's like, but I'm gonna lay across. It's the head scratches. So the Woolly Thistles is wonderful. They have their own podcast, and they basically import a lot of wools from the UK, and also from Norway, and from Finland, and from Iceland, and there's even yarn from Portugal, and they bring it into the States so that people can have easier access to it, because it's quite expensive to get that kind of yarn from across like the ocean. It's very expensive, and it's very expensive in Canada actually too. We do need someone kind of like the Woolly Thistle in Canada. So well, Bailey's eating my hand.
He's just licking it because it's salty.
He's just sweaty, I see.
Yeah.
So I decided that I wanted to take part in their sock bag. They have a sock bag every year, which includes yarns, all sock yarns, but actually it's not true that they're all sock weight. They're all for sock knitting, but some of them are 100% wool, some of them are not. Some of them are blends of superwash, merino, some have nylon. There's even, in this year's sock bag, there's a Ralma in there and worsted weight. So I wanted to buy the bag. I think it's like, it comes with like four different kinds of yarn for 4 pairs of socks, and one of them is the daughter of a shepherd, which is their new, I think it's called Dover, possibly. Mm-hmm. It's their new sock yarn, and I was really, really excited about that one, and it was only released through that sock bag. I really wanted that to make woolly socks out of her Hebridean yarn, which the Hebridean sheep are like these really dark brown, black colored sheep, really, really beautiful. And then there's Rauma that comes with it in their worsted weight, which is for socks. I've never made socks with 100% woolen worsted, but I think it might be good for like house slipper, things like that. Probably knit at a tight gauge, but it will knit up quickly. There's one from the US, and then what's the other one? There's one from Portugal. Oh, I think it's Retrosaria. It's a Retrosaria, but it's a sock yarn, and it's in their variegated colors. So I thought that'd be really fun. So I ordered that, and then we also Abby bought the book Cumbria, which is Marie Wallen's new book, and it has many beautiful colorwork sweaters for women, but it has a number of sweaters for men, which is exciting. And one of them that's on the cover is one I think I'm going to make, and that's the one that has 18 or 16 or 18 colors of the Jameson. So.
Except she uses her own. She uses a lot of her new sweaters.
Sorry. British breed
yarn. So that's the nice thing about the loop is that you can kind of go in, if you like the colors that she's chosen for hers, you can go into the loop and kind of find the closest match, which is what I did for my Brisset sweater that I did of hers. Or even if you want something totally different, you can go in again to the loop and kind of slowly figure it out, take some black and white photos, do that whole shebang. But
yeah, and so the British breed yarn is a nice yarn. It's not too expensive, but it is a little bit more expensive than the Jameson. And she has really beautiful colors, Marie Wallen, but you can find almost all the shades that are similar in the Jameson. And I think if we had British breed available to us, we probably would buy the British breed.
Yeah.
But we just don't have it, and it's quite pricey to order a sweater of it, and then also pay for the shipping on top of the currency exchange.
Yeah.
Right now, life is very expensive, which I'm sure it is for everyone.
Yeah.
The price of the liter here is insane. Is it like almost $3 or $2?
It's pretty ridiculous. I can't remember what I don't know. But
Yeah, I think it's like $2.
it's not cheap.
$2 per liter or something, which is almost the price of a gallon.
And the exchange rate between the U.S. and Canada is quite steep too. So yeah, and I can tell that, like, even just looking at it, you can tell that British breeds and Jameson and Smith are maybe like similar, but it looks just from appearance like British breeds might be a little bit drapier and a little bit more what is it like?
Well, so the British breed yarn is different from the Jameson because British breed is worsted spun, where the Jameson is woolen spun. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And so woolen spun yarns inherently are not going to drape as well as a British breed because the worsted, the tight spin will like give the yarn a little bit more of like a weight, whereas the woolen will like plump up and be really fluffy. So they're both good yarns, but the part of the reason why she made the British breeds because a lot of her sweaters originally were in Jameson, right?
I think they were in Rowan because she used to work for Rowan.
Yes, that's true. She did do Rowan, but I think that she created British breed. Inspired because it still has Shetland wool in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that she was thinking about Jameson and Smith when making the British breed, but she wanted to make a yarn out of Shetland wool that was unique. I think it is unique to find Shetland wool that's worsted spun the way that she has spun it in the color palette that she has. So it is a slightly different yarn, but I do think that it will, obviously Jameson and Smith knits up beautifully. It's just slightly different yarn, but I think
different texture, yeah.
Yeah, but I honestly haven't made a colorwork sweater with a Jameson, and so I'm really excited to do that. And the sweater that Abby made in the Jameson, by Marie Wallen. What's the name of this sweater?
The Brisset.
Brisset sweater. If you want to see that one, you can look and you can watch the last episode.
Yeah.
That one came out so gorgeous. So I'm not worried. Yes, it's not going to be as drapey, but I think it's okay for me in that instance to use the Jameson. What else? Well, Canada Day is coming up.
Yeah.
Which is a big day. Which is the what is Canada Day? The Independence Day of Canada, or is it just like a national holiday of Canada?
I think it's like when Canada became Canada.
Aren't you a teacher?
Yeah, but I don't teach social studies this year. I don't teach that. It's fine. I know it if I teach it, and if I don't, then I might not know it. Yeah,
so Canada Day is on July 1st, which is exciting.
Yeah. We don't take ourselves as seriously, though, as like...
No, it's not. I would say it's not as big of a deal as 4th of July is in the States.
It's like low-key 4th of July. And to be honest, like, it's like woo, pancakes, maple syrup, drinking. Like, that's pretty much, like, the extent of it. Like, we don't have...
Pancakes and maple syrup, that's very Canadian.
We're not, like, exploding fireworks everywhere. Like, that's not a thing here. Although there are fireworks, we have a lot more strict rules about things that explode, which is probably I'm okay with.
I would say that we have a lot more restrictions and laws that
prevent people from getting harmed.
Prevent people from dying.
Details.
But
yeah.
In the U.S., just like a lot of laws that protect people from dying. We won't get into politics here.
Yeah.
But Canada is a wonderful country in a lot of ways. We're not perfect. Canada has its own problems. Believe me. But it's great in a lot of ways. And one of those ways is that like I don't have to worry about going on the street and someone blowing up a firework and my foot flying across the street or something.
Yeah. So that's nice. And I mean, maple syrup is a little more peaceful. So.
And
although it is sticky.
Non-inflammatory or not explosive. Yeah, it's sticky.
It's very sticky.
It's sticky.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm excited for Canada Day, and also I'm looking forward to Stampede too.
Oh my God, I love Stampede.
Stampede's coming up, and I want to go with you, Abby, because
yes.
we've never gotten together because I'm pretty sure the pandemic hit before Stampede happened. Because I moved here in August, and then COVID happened in March, and then I didn't end up going last summer. So we definitely gotta go.
Well, and I'm a party. Like, to be honest, like I'm an elder millennial. I know how to party. Like,
I love the phrase "I'm a party."
Okay. Well, I guess I could be. Anyway, I have probably 4 or 5 pairs of cowboy boots. I love country music. I grew up on a farm. Like, I know how to stampede. I don't do rides, like I'm not, but like, you know, I go to the art show and look at all the knitting.
Well, you're gonna have to we should submit a piece of our knitting into the show.
Yeah, we should see if the deadline might be up, but
oh
we'll
crap!
I guess we should look because I don't know.
If I finish my Lettlopi sweater, I would submit that one.
Yeah, well, I would submit my Mercedes.
I could submit. I have other sweaters I could submit.
We should look it up and see if the deadline's passed because that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, and I feel like we probably would win stuff because our knitting's pretty good.
I think it's good. I don't know.
Or a little narcissistic.
Yeah, details. I don't know. I think it's the best.
Our knitting is awesome.
But I don't know what Canada is.
Yeah,
details.
Okay, you don't know like the purpose of Canada. I thought you were gonna say it's like to celebrate.
I don't know.
To celebrate short blonde girls in Alberta.
Probably. No.
Whose names start with the letter A.
Yeah. A's for awesome. No.
When I asked you what Canada Day, was about, you it was like I was asking you like what the meaning of the universe was. Like I feel like if someone asked me what 4th of July was in the States, I would have such like an easy like answer that'd be fine. And you looked at me like why are you putting me on the spot?
My poker face is not great, guys. It's fine. You know how I feel always.
Okay, well, so how long is this episode's an hour and 12 minutes?
I hope my laughter isn't gonna blow anyone's speakers.
No, I don't know.
Could be a little shrill.
We're using a different camera today. We're using the camera that we use for most of our episodes. We switched to a different one last time.
Yeah.
I didn't quite like it very much, so we're gonna use this one. But I'm hoping for this episode to add more pictures in to the things we're talking about and kind of include more pictures of things throughout the episode, so it's not just us babbling on for an hour and 15 minutes, because that works for some people, grocery girls, but it doesn't work for us. Actually, that's not true. It is true they babble on for sometimes 2.5 hours, but they do include pictures in their podcast, don't they?
They have a lot of information, to be honest. Their taste in yarn, I'm like, oh my god, everything they show, I'm like obsessed.
They do have access to all the best quality yarns because everyone sends them.
Oh my god,
all their yarn.
The yarn fellas.
And they are lovely, and they are a podcast that both of us watch. But sometimes I do think the podcasts are quite long. But I'm sure they know that they've said that before, and I don't think they care. Which, you know what, power to you, because podcasting is not easy. It actually is quite a bit of work, especially when you're doing giveaways or you're trying to include notes and everything. And I cannot imagine trying to write their notes for their 2.5 hour episodes.
And doing that so regularly either. Obviously I don't even know when Canada Day, what that's for, so whatever. But
Wait, so you're saying that because you don't know what Canada is and you couldn't write notes for their podcast?
Probably not.
You could do their
No, I'm not
podcast because
smart
you know
enough for
fiber
that.
things.
I don't. Well, yeah, but I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I hope I don't mumble on this episode because I also wasn't being careful about that. So sorry if I do.
Mumble?
Mumble.
You mean like when you know, like talk really
Yeah,
fast?
like I talk really fast and I don't enunciate. Yeah.
Well, we're both millennials, and so I feel like people are just going to have to deal.
It's
You're a
fine.
millennial, right?
Yeah, I'm an elder millennial. I'm like the expert.
I'm a younger millennial. I think I'm the
Yeah.
last year of a millennial.
You're a what is it? Elder millennial and like maybe like a Ute millennial or something.
Huh. Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you have any podcasts that you like to watch? That you wanna
Well, I
plug?
do like Needles at the Ready. I like they're really funny and I like they have a cute dog too. So obviously I love my dog and they are obsessed with their dog. So it's pretty cool.
You
yeah,
like Grocery Girls?
I like Grocery Girls. What other ones do I watch?
Oh, I've
I
been
watch
watching-
Woolly Thistle. Yeah.
Yeah, Willie Thistle. I've been watching Grocery Girls since you told me about it. They do have really, really good yarns, and they do feature some good pattern writers. So, you know, there's no hate to anyone. I just was making a joke about the podcast being really, really, really long. But you know what? They are very successful, and people love them. So and also they're Albertan. So,
Yeah.
you know what? Spread the love to Albertan podcasts.
Yeah, I don't know who else. I mean, I watch some for a bit, and then I'll stop, and then I'll go back to it.
I have a ton. So I like Fiber Tales podcast, which is of a I think she is a pattern designer in Denmark. I think in Denmark. Fiber Tales. I sometimes watch Espace Tricot. They're in Montreal, aren't they?
Yeah, I like them too.
I like them. I like Emma Robinson of, I think she's Woolly Mammoth Yarns. I like her podcast a lot. I've been watching Jonathan Days, which I sent to you before. He has some really, really cool, if you're a male knitter or you're interested in that kind of stuff. I like Katie Green of the Grain Bead podcast. And yeah, that's it.
Nice.
So, you want to... I'm not really listening to anything super specific. I was gonna play a song that I love, but I think it's gonna be copyrighted.
Yeah.
It's by Christine and the Queens. You know Christine and the Queens?
No.
It's a really, really good song, and it's called It, or I think it's like the first letter is I, it's lowercase, and the next letter is T, and it's capital. And I think it's a song about, I think, just the kind of like the life of being a transgender person.
Oh.
But it's a really cool song, and it's about a transgender man, and it's a beautiful song. It's just a great song. I remember I actually learned the song first, and then realized later that someone was like, "Oh, that's about transgenderism," and I was like, "Oh, it's kind of awesome." It's nice when music and art like reflects things in life that things that we're dealing with, because I think that's kind of the point.
Well, and things that you value too, right?
Things that you care about. So yeah, that's a song. I've been listening to a lot of Christine and the Queens. I really like her a lot.
I listened. Well, I haven't been listening to a ton either, but I did go for a run for the first time in like a year and a half yesterday, which was, I'm a little sore today, but happy that I'm proud of myself. I exercised, and I was listening to some Taylor Swift because I do love her, and she's released a lot of new music, like her take on a lot of the albums that she's already kind of done. And so I listened to her for an hour and some change while I was running, and that was really, really nice. Other than that, I've just been watching I've been watching RuPaul Drag Race All Stars every week religiously, and it's like, if you're into Drag Race, it's probably like
The best.
the most polished queens, like consistently polished every week, that I have ever seen on the show. Like, there's just like, I don't know who's gonna win because they're all so freaking fabulous. So obsessed.
So you're watching RuPaul. Are you watching any other shows?
So we finished a bunch. We finished Working Moms, really funny, also Canadian, and also Pretty Hard Cases, I think it's called. which is like about two police who are friends, also Canadian, funny. And now that we're done that, we're like, okay, what do we watch next? But and Iron Chef, really good.
I've been watching the Peaky Blinders. Have you seen the Peaky Blinders?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well, are you? I mean, you're into watching pretty like disgusting, violent stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Usually it's Abby who sends me
I'm obsessed with
the gross
cults.
documentaries
Yeah.
about cults and things
I
that
love
they do.
cults. I mean, I'm not in a cult, but I like watching about them. I think they're really fascinating.
No, so I think the Peaky Blinders are on Netflix, or at least they're on Netflix in Canada, and I've been watching them. And there's actually 6 seasons. There's a new season that just came out, and that's how I found out about them.
Yeah.
So it's nice. I always love finding a show that's really, really good after it's been out for years and years, because then I can just binge it. And I'm not at the point where I can watch it while I spin, but I can certainly knit, obviously, and watch it. But okay, well. Any last words? Sounds like it sounds like you're gonna die.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope not.
Any final thoughts?
I'm like living a pretty good life right now.
Way
I don't
too
wanna
much
die.
to knit.
Yeah, I know. I need to like get through my knitting first before that can happen. Any final thoughts? No, I'm like really excited for the summer of knitting and hopefully more exercise and
hiking
and playing with my dog.
Who's a sweetheart?
Who's a really the biggest, sweetest boy. He's just the stealing things we need to work on, but he's so sweet and he's so cute. He got a groom last Friday, and they put a tie on him, and he seriously, people were laughing out loud at how cute he was as we were walking past them, because the tie and his face, and he's like brown and white, so he's like got a built-in like tuxedo happening. Bailey, can you come up? No, he's like,
well, I'll show him when we say goodbye.
yeah. Maybe when we start
eating?
wrapping up, he's
He's eating random things.
He likes to eat things that he's not supposed to. That's another special trait.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming back and watching and a pretty long episode. And Bailey wants to eat the yarn. And we love you all, and thank you so much for watching. And if you want to be entered in the giveaway and you're in Canada, please comment, like, subscribe, ask a question. Maybe everybody could ask a question.
Yeah.
Something that you're interested in learning about, maybe, and let us know what you want to know, and maybe we'll try to answer some of those questions next time.
This is the boy. He's so cute though, for reals. Like, look at that face.
It's a good reason to.
He's patient.
It's a good reason to wait till the end of the episode.
He loves us enough that he lets us do that.
Okay, bye everybody.
All right, bye. See you.